Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode. And welcome to hello, everybody, and welcome to hello, everybody, and welcome to hello, everybody, and welcome to. Ah, there we go. That fixed it. I made a mistake and wondered why I could hear myself, and then everybody heard me 17 times. Welcome to another episode of Talking Red. I'm, of course, joined by my amazing castmates, Amy and Feliza. Rachel and Emma aren't available to join us tonight, but we're looking forward to chatting with you about our game and Cyberpunk. Oh, not that way. This way. In general. So, Amy, Feliza, how's it going?
Good. How about you, Gary?
Yeah, for me, it could always be worse. It's not yet a post-apocalyptic future. It's just post-apocalyptic. It's currently the present, so.
There's that optimism we know and love.
Yeah. You gotta always look on the bright side, silver lining and all that. Amy just got back from vacation, so she is really excited to be talking Red tonight. I know that for sure.
It's a nice, my mind is refreshed, and I didn't have to stress out about work stuff, and now I can just ease into the weekend of playing D&D and playing Cyberpunk and still have a day to myself tomorrow. It's great. Thank you, American holidays.
To all of our friends celebrating Memorial Day, we are hoping that you have a very safe, very happy holiday. We're excited to talk to you about our campaign. It feels like a long time since we've had a chance to talk about it, and there's been a lot that's happened. I think the most interesting thing from a storytelling perspective is that Emma advanced us quite a bit in time from our last adventure to the quote unquote current time. It was 2 months between the time that the Pizza Punks invaded the Bozos hideout and then came back and saw what happened between the time of that and the current time. When you were faced with a 2-month gap, what was your biggest thought about what your character was doing? Did you have a sense of it? Did you know it was coming? And when you were talking about what Tab and Alley Cat were up to, what was sort of going through your mind?
I was trying to figure out if Tab would even hang out with anyone else, or if she would sort of hole up. What was she? I don't know. The options are kind of endless, but would she be social, and that's sort of opening up to her people, her little growing family here. If Cicero would let anyone in, which doesn't seem to be the case super recently. But
no.
What about Alley Cat?
I feel like the only reason that we hadn't seen them for 2 months is that nothing that Alley Cat did went especially badly, because I think she just lived her life as normal. Yeah. Just she's very opportunistic, and I think she was just working the whole time, but just normal work.
Yeah.
Where everything went the way it's supposed to go.
Not getting shot at work.
Not getting shot at, not getting rammed by some pickup truck full of clowns.
Right.
No dumping coffee on anyone.
She possibly dumped coffee on people, but
I think based on past experience, yes, it's odds are likely that she dumped coffee on at least one person in that time.
Yeah.
They probably deserve it.
But only after it wasn't hot anymore.
Oh, right.
Oh.
For Cicero, there's been a lot of, and we sort of saw it a little bit, the sullen. He's got this thing that he's been working on that was gonna emerge eventually, and everything that the Pizza Punks are doing now is sort of keeping him from finishing this thing that he's been working on. And it's really important to him, and obviously he's been working on it 2 months because he wants it to be perfect. And I'm definitely curious to see what people will say when he finally releases this piece of esoterica he's been working on.
Yes, the
And by
residual.
by people, do you mean the audience members or do you mean Billy and Alley Cat?
Why not both?
Well, I think both Gary and Cicero probably know how it's gonna go with his neighbors.
Biggest
Well,
fans.
yeah, well, I mean, it better go good because it's a majestic piece of writing. Let me tell you that right now.
Indeed, I'm sure.
Yeah, and it was interesting to try and convey a different part of Cicero that people hadn't seen, because I think it was, for the people who've been watching from the beginning especially, it's a very different Cicero. He's kind of a dick, but not in like that sort of happy-go-lucky way. He's like, he's our dick sort of idea. But now
I
he's
would have
just
gone with just reserved. I probably wouldn't have called Cicero a dick, but I mean,
I would have.
yeah.
You know, Tab is the nice one. And Tab is just like, I just don't understand why Cicero won't let us in. And Billy and Alligator are here just like, eat a sandwich. You look terrible. Let me sell your image for money and I'll
That's
take
true.
half.
I did forget about the video taking.
Oh, I
I-
didn't.
Yeah.
I feel
Oh,
Cicero feels abused in his own time now. To be honest with you, he doesn't even notice. He just gets random deposits in his account and has no idea what they're for.
From Alley Cat.
Well, I know Gary knows where they're from, but Cicero's like, "Oh, I have money in my account. Okay."
so does Cicero monitor his net presence? Like, would he, in the parlance of today's youth, Google himself?
No, no,
No.
because
So
to
he
Cicero,
genuinely doesn't know
yeah,
why there's an
yeah,
extra,
because to Cicero, and eventually, sort of his backstory will come out, but Cicero is very focused on trying to make things better for other people. So his data pool presence is basically exclusively to talk about sort of how he thinks that can happen, and for people not to lose hope, because hope isn't a commodity and they shouldn't trade it in for money, and they deserve better than what they're getting from the corporations and sort of all that stuff. So no, I don't think he Googles himself. I don't think he cares. I think he recognizes his own fame and he will leverage it to an end, but not just for self, like getting the punks out of Night City.
Mm-hmm.
He recognized that he might have an opportunity to do that because he's famous, but otherwise, yeah, it's like he doesn't need to use his fame to get first in line for a sandwich or something.
Yeah. So he really does just, wake up to money in his account.
Yeah, pretty much.
Doesn't question Alley Cat on, hey, where did that video, which video is it that you uploaded?
Yeah.
Had Billy upload?
Yeah.
Well, so far in the campaign, there have been, I think, 2 different videos so far, and there's the one from the prologue adventure that we did of Cicero running into a burning barn and then carrying someone out of the burning barn. That had to be a lot of money. Like,
Oh yeah.
that had to be like
Yeah.
good money. And the second one, I don't think the second one would have shown up yet, right?
Nope.
No, I think it's the next.
Yeah, I think
the
it's
next episode.
yeah. So there's another exciting Cicero video coming up, but
Yeah. Everybody's got to be patient for that one. I'm really excited that we've had Chris able to join us, because I think Slicks is a lot of fun and he brings something unique to the group, and he's just a good guy. I like role playing with him.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. In the last Talking Red, we had the question of our favorite characters and whether it's changed from the first episode of Talking Red. And I was like, yes, but I can't tell you. And it's because it's Slicks. I love Slicks.
A lot
Feliza
of
loves
fun.
Slicks. Alley Cat loves Slicks. We are very pro Slicks in this household. Chris is a delight.
Absolutely. And like how seamlessly he manages to blend in like with our shenanigans and just roll with it
Yeah,
speaks to his personality so well.
absolutely. Canadian Screen Award winner Chris now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um,
Fancy.
yeah, he's done something that's really cool with his character and just making him sort of, because I think Slicks was not as genial. I got the sense that Slicks was not as genial in the first couple episodes, but he's definitely made Slicks really, what's the word I'm looking for? Friendly and
Personable?
personable
Yeah.
is definitely the right word. And I always saw Slicks as more of a gangster, but definitely not how Chris plays him for sure.
Oh yeah, I thought he was more of like a hard ass. Like just from the conversations with Alley Cat on the phone, but he seems like a cool dude.
To be fair, he was being a hard ass about not damaging his car, and he was in the trunk of his car.
That's
So,
true.
I mean, I think all of us would be a hard ass in that
Yeah.
situation
I
about not
still,
damaging the vehicle.
Feliza, on a personal note, I don't think I'm ever going to forgive you for not putting that first call on speaker.
Nope.
Never, never. Because I knew immediately. And I wanted to just show, never gonna forgive you for that.
I do have a hard time with like character knowledge versus player
Yeah.
knowledge sometimes, and so I have to remember.
Right? Like yeah, it's painful. But because it wasn't on speaker, I couldn't say anything, and
Mhm.
so I just kept my
And
brilliant mouth shut.
neither Feliza nor Alley Cat truly realized what was going on. Alley Cat was panicking. Feliza was like, "Okay, Emma, I get it. I
Yeah.
get that he doesn't want me to damage his car."
Hmm.
Behind the curtains.
Yeah, yeah. And I know Emma has plans to bring on some more guest stars to play characters, and I wonder if she would ever be willing to give up Slimy Pete, or if Slimy Pete could
Ooh.
ever become a recurring guest star NPC, or if she enjoys playing him too much.
Can
I
you
don't.
imagine if like the pizza punks like had to go rescue Slimy Pete or something, and then like on the way back he becomes like one of us or something? Awesome.
That would be cool.
Oh man.
Just saying,
Poor,
Emma. Yeah.
poor,
Hopefully you're watching and taking notes.
yeah, like poor slimy Pete though. Felisa feels very bad for him. Okay, doesn't. Felisa does.
Oh,
We have given him a lot of crap, but I'm pretty sure he's earned at least some of it. Like for sure.
He shot at us.
That's
Oh
true.
no, he didn't shoot at us. He ran and then made other people shoot at us.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We got back at him for that.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
we buy
like,
his pizzas.
I'm pretty sure the pizza place is a front for the chop shop in the back, and it's not really made to make money. But yeah, we buy pizza from him. That's for sure.
Or
You know-
we heckle them until he basically gives us pizza for free.
You know what? Maybe we can help him turn his life around.
We'll do like a very special intervention episode.
Where we just buy enough pizza that he can truly break into the pizza making business and leave the illegal chop shop operation behind.
But would he be happy in his heart of hearts?
Are we just gonna write Slimy Pete's fanfic?
Actually,
It's not the worst
Maybe.
idea I've ever heard.
yeah. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, Slimy Pete is definitely one of my favorite characters. And this is gonna screw up if I move that. Okay. Okay, that's gonna do that too. And I really enjoy bantering back and forth, but I think the thing that's most painful for me right now is that our current episode has stretched from a one part into a two part, which is delaying the release of my new agent, which I'm really excited to show to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's I don't want to say it's causing me physical pain, but it's not. But I don't love having to wait.
It's the anticipation.
Yeah, Barry is going to be very cool. Put some thought into it. Emma's worked on him.
That's fantastic because I have not put nearly as much thought into my agent. So
Which
I'm
is
excited.
funny because Tab does all that. She does all the tech stuff. I guess. Do you think that Tab is a little less dependent on her agent than maybe the other characters are because she's so?
Maybe probably less dependent on the tech and maybe less dependent on or less willing to rely on someone or like you bond with someone even if it is just an agent, because they do become like little adorable thorns in our sides. I'm sure if anything happened to Mike or what is Billy's agent's name? Bill?
Buffalo
Wild
Bill.
Buffalo Bill, yeah.
Buffalo
Yeah.
Bill. Isn't it Wild
Yeah.
Bill? No, Buffalo Bill.
No, it's Buffalo Bill.
Buffalo Bill.
It's Bill.
I was having a moment of
Billy
like,
and Bill.
Billy's name wouldn't be. Yeah, no, it is.
She also is a backup agent now, Jessie.
That's right, because didn't she pull it from the Bozos
Yes.
car?
Yes.
Excellent. Yeah, so I think maybe Tab just doesn't, tries to be more self-sufficient. We'll see. Hopefully.
That's the cool thing about our game is that it feels like there's anywhere we can go within the cyberpunk system. There's so many options for us to play with, and we have so many story threads to draw on, and that Emma has to draw on to make it unique and fun.
Are there any things from when we did the character creation? We all did a lot of dice rolling to generate background information. Is there anything that came out of the stuff that you didn't plan, stuff that came out of the background creation that you're really looking forward to getting into?
Yes.
Which I think is not spoilery because we did do that on camera.
That's true.
Everyone can go back and listen to it.
Yeah, so Cicero's... I didn't plan sort of how Cicero was going to develop as a character. I knew that I wanted to have him be a rocker boy that didn't sing because I am forced to sing in D&D enough that I wanted to make it so that I didn't have to write songs or sing. I do during charity events, but not during our regular games because thankfully they're pre-recorded and the usual suspects aren't there to heckle me. And so I knew that going into it, he was going to be a cult leader, like an orator. But the way his backstory his parents were corporate executives, but he grew up in a nomad pack. How do you reconcile those two things, which are so diametrically opposed? It's like, if you're a corporate executive, you're living life to the fullest. But if you're growing up in a nomad pack, where you're not rich, how do those two things make sense? Mm-hmm. And so the story that I came up with in my head not only ties those two things together, it also is the perfect origin for why Cicero is the way he is and believes what he believes. So, I didn't plan it, but it's the perfect origin for the character that
I'm so excited now. I want to know more about it.
Yeah. Do you think there might be any nomad characters from Cicero's past who might show up? He did roll all of those like terrible lover situations.
Yes, yes. So he does have 3 ex-lovers. I believe one of them's dead, one of them disappeared, and one of them's in jail. And I think it's possible. I don't know what Emma has in store. There's lots of lots of stuff to pull on from Cicero's backstory, and I'm curious to see what happens. But I'm also very excited to sort of dig into the story of who Cicero is and where he came from, because I think it's closer than people might realize. Um, we're planning a party, but he's also working on this message, and the message is going to be a lot of sort of the culmination of what he's been working on. And it's probably going to put a target on his back too. So
Oh
that'll be
my
interesting.
Oh my God, Cicero, if you do your speech at Slicks's party, either Slicks is going to think it's the greatest thing in the world or he'll kill you. And I mean that in the very literal sense because Slicks
Possibly
is
both.
is a gangster. Like,
Yeah, and you know what? Slicks has seen what Cicero can do. So all Cicero would say is, "Come at me, bro."
I feel like Slicks would give Cicero a head start. Like, mad respect, get out. You've got, you've got a little while. You can have a head start.
Yeah, I think so too. The seeing Slicks' affinity for Cicero go up and down, he's like, "Oh, I love this guy. Oh, what a dick. Oh, I love this guy." It's been great.
what about Tab? Is there any part of like Tab's background generation you're really interested in getting
He
into?
has a mentor that we haven't met on screen yet. So I wonder if they've kept in touch. I wonder if they're still keeping in touch and like Tab just hasn't brought it up yet. Um, I'm curious what that relationship looks like for them. And how like if were they close and they've drifted apart, are they still close? Do they, just write letters at the holidays? I'm interested in getting to know them a little bit more. What about Alley Cat?
There's a couple things that ended up happening that I'm really interested in. And one has to do with her family. Her family was reclaimers, and they're not around anymore. Uh, and the other thing that I'm really, really interested to get into is actually her client situation, because she sort of the way that the fixer background rolled was that she was doing just like combat zone gangers, and then she kind of moved away from that, and the combat gangers she was working for before like no come back. That's really scary to me because I'm like, Alley Cat's soft and squishy. So that I think might be a little scary when it comes into play in the game, but I'm looking forward to it.
Just take Tab as backup. She's got med skills. She'll,
And
she'll keep your insides on the insides.
Yes. Yes, if only she would do the same for herself.
Some days are better than others.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I'm curious to see what Emma's going to do with the backstory once we get past this episode. I think that we're going to start seeing more into that, but I mean, who knows what's in that wild mind of hers.
I really do sort of like the vague outlines for backgrounds that Cyberpunk will let you create or help you create, and then the way we're playing it, we're sort of filling in it as we go, versus in other games some people will just build their entire character and they know how everything was or is, and they know up front who their character is, and maybe it's just like the way that my preferred play style is. I like that sort of like fleshing a character out as you play them, instead of being sort of single-minded about, well, this is what happened, so this is what they would do.
I feel like my preferred play style is really the entire opposite of that, where I always come in knowing like I'm like the person who rolls in with a 5-page single spaced background. But I also feel as if the way that the game is set up, I can have all that. And as we were rolling and generating the different things, I was like, oh yes, this is what this means. And I actually sent Emma a pretty long email explaining the specifics about different things that I had rolled during the session 0. And I like that the cyberpunk system gives you the flexibility that you can have both, that you can sort of slowly explore the character if that's what you prefer, or you can just bam, okay, I understand this is who this person is. Yeah.
Yeah, I lean toward your style, Amy. I like to have some idea about who the character is, but I like to let the role play fill in those gaps quite a lot. You know, that's how Skip started, and then Skip begat Flip, who begat Chip, and they all sort of just came from this place of, okay, well, wouldn't this be cool, and then going from there. I'm curious to know. So obviously, we're all pretty well established. Cicero's a rocker boy. Alley Cat's a fixer. Tab. What is your class? I don't even can't even.
I'm a tech.
A tech. So we're all sort of well established. If you were to multi-class or pick a different class now that you've been playing your character for a while, what would it be, and why?
I think Tab would class into like medic.
Yeah.
And get a little bit more of like that, like the trauma care, you know, out in the street, taking care of people whose insides are no longer on their insides. Just get level up some more of those medic skills, and I think I probably will put some more of my XP points when we level next time. Take a couple levels in like first aid, just in case. We won't need it or anything.
No.
In case of the inevitable, someone's got too many holes in them.
Yeah. Well, that wouldn't happen to us. But yeah, I think I would go med tech. Yeah. What about Alley Cat?
I think that in a perfect world, or in a world where things went slightly different for Alley Cat, I think she would have ended up in media. So I would say media. I think she's too flashy to not have that sort of thing, but I don't think the rocker boy role is the right role for her. But I think like media and like talking to people and nosing into people's business, that seems right for her.
Using her persuasive skills. Yeah.
And her charisma skills. She's a very high charisma. Yeah. That's how we got the dog.
Yeah.
Oh, Max.
It's interesting because when we had some overlap on our skills actually when we first started. And so I ended up changing some of my skills out because I'm like, okay, well, we both don't need this. We both don't need this. But then some of them I'm like, yeah, no, Cicero is going to have max persuasion. It doesn't matter what Alley Cat is doing because it wouldn't make sense otherwise. But there was one charisma skill. I don't remember what it is. And I don't have my character sheet handy that I put 0 in. I'm pretty sure I put it into driving because it's like, okay, well, you know, I'm going to give you this, but I'm going to be the F1 driver of our thing. And so Alley Cat in our first episode is like, I'm a better driver than you. I'm like, are you?
I think I have 4 land vehicle levels.
Yeah, I have 4 as well, but my reflexes are better than yours. So...
but also, Cicero's better at shooting.
Yes.
And you did that on purpose, so Alley Cat's gonna drive.
Yes. And that's actually where Cicero, I don't think would ever multi-class. I think he's definitely focused on becoming more and more famous because, I wouldn't want to dilute that ability. In fact, if we ever get XP again, I've been waiting to increase my Rocker Boy ability to make me one level more famous. But um, if he was to ever move to a different class, I'm pretty sure solo is the combat one.
Yeah, his big damn heroing.
Yeah, he would 100%. He would 100% be a solo, and he would kill bad people. He would basically be like the Equalizer, I think. He would kill bad people who were really screwing with good people. So if Slicks was like not the neighborhood gangster, he would totally just straight up murder Slicks, sort of idea.
Okay, but technically, isn't that what we did with the bozos? Was we just like destroyed some people who were just screwing with
100%,
normal people?
100%. But the backstory of him would be that would be his mission. He would be like the Equalizer or the A-Team type guy if you need him and you can find him. And he would just be like he would sort of he would definitely have like a katana and like a a machine gun. He would have just had like 25 different weapons. I mean, you'd fly a plane. I mean, Cicero can fly a plane, but not as well maybe as
Do you have air vehicles?
100% I do.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It hasn't come up yet.
Okay.
There's a bunch of skills that Cicero has that haven't come up yet, and I purposely put in there. I'm like, this could be useful, but have not come up at all.
Okay, but knowing that, now we're gonna go find a helicopter to liberate.
Yes. Oh.
Like,
because that would make everyone happy. Tab would be happy. Cicero would be happy. Alley Cat would be happy. Billy, like, we'll just put her in the back with some pizza and a video game. It's fine.
Yeah, she'll be fine.
She'll be fine.
Yeah.
Where would we put it? Where
We could store
on
it
the
at
roof.
Slick's.
Is the roof big enough for a helicopter?
The roof is big enough for poker games. I don't know if it's big enough for.
I feel like those are very different scales.
Yeah.
And size requirements.
If we've liberated a helicopter, I feel like we would also need to hide it. So maybe we'd need like a parking garage.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I mean,
That
I'm
seems like a
not
problem
sure.
for Feliza.
I'm not sure Cicero's quite good enough a pilot to maneuver the helicopter underground into a parking garage. I mean, he has only one level. Because he only has one level because it's double the cost of points. But I wanted to say that he could get in a plane and say, yep, I know what I'm doing. Don't mess with me. I know a lot of shit that you wouldn't expect.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, but on the topic of skills that we haven't gotten to use yet, what are people's other skills that we haven't gotten to see in the
Now you're
in the
making
game
me look
yet?
at my character sheet.
I would say, yeah, now I gotta go.
Because
mine's across the room.
I've got a bunch. I'll
be right back.
For everybody who's watching, yes, I have a paper-based character sheet that I wrote by hand.
Right here. Yep.
Old school.
It's got like three or four different colors of ink on it.
It's like your notebook.
It is. I like colors and notes. What is Cicero's personal grooming?
Personal grooming. That's a great question. To answer the question that I was talking about before, it's conversation. So I dropped all my ranks in conversation. I had it maxed out. Because I figured my empathy, I think, was slightly worse than yours anyways, because I had some cyberware. So I'm like, I'm just going to let you converse with people. I'll just persuade them because I'm handsome and charming. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. What was your question? Your question was personal grooming. So personal grooming and both wardrobe and style are 14.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Because some of the cyberware that I took enhanced all that. Like
Oh,
I have
yeah.
tech hair and I have chem skin, and when you do both of those, it gives you a bonus to those two things. And then the cyberware that I got was a voice stress analyzer, so that gives you a bonus to your human perception, and maybe that's it.
That's cool.
Yeah. But I know y'all have light tattoos just like Cicero does. So that's what I've got on my face now. Now I get Allie to paint me up every time.
That's very cool.
Yeah,
Does she do them the same way every time?
close to it. Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, I figure it's the future. They can shift like a snake.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
You
she.
didn't know if you would do like different ones every time, just as they change. Mm. What do you got, Feliza?
So for skills that I haven't gotten to use yet, business,
Yes.
Nice,
bribery, because I
nice.
haven't actually bribed anybody yet. I've just intimidated them into doing whatever I want, or
Mm-hmm.
sweet talked my way into getting what I want.
Mm-hmm.
I have not actually used conversation, so conversation is actually a pretty tricky kind of skill.
Mm-hmm.
Conversation is a skill for anyone who's not super familiar with the system. It's not just like how well you chat with people. It's not like a small talk skill. It's how well you can get people to tell you what you want, not directly, but by just talking to
Mm-hmm.
them. So it's like a very espionage kind of skill, but it would also be so useful for a
Yeah.
fixer
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
they need to know what people want.
Mm-hmm.
Also, trading
Mm-hmm.
streetwise.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've actually used human perception yet. So basically, like almost any of my skills, my language skills, local expert. I have used brawling. Got to use the brawling
Yes, you
skill.
have.
Uh, Evasion. A lot of most of my skills I haven't used yet. Allicat really just like has one MO, and that is hit it with the baseball bat.
In the kneecaps.
And then
Yeah.
yeah, with a phone book on it
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah. What about Tab?
Um, ah, she's got some land vehicle tech that I don't think we've really used yet. But I also have some electronics and security tech that, like, Billy's so good at like her tech stuff and
Mm-hmm.
like navigating systems and stuff. But like, I feel like the security tech could be a cool thing to play with in the future and see what kind of trouble that can get us into or out of.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, because that's not messing with the net. That's like going to a door and screwing with the lock and then getting
Mm-hmm.
us through it. It's like physical security objects as opposed to net stuff, right?
Yes, yes, and like luckily the Bozo's hideout wasn't really uh, very well secured.
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
they they were it was very creatively secured. I mean, I remember I think my favorite part in like the fun house part of the story was when Cicero and Alicat went in the Hall of Mirrors. Um and I don't remember if we got shot at first by the two shotguns at the end. But I just remember thinking, like me, Feliza, just like, we don't know where that's coming from. I have to break all the mirrors. And just this was like the thought in my head was like, oh yeah, I gotta break every single mirror in the
Makes
hallway.
sense.
Yeah.
That's normal, right?
Perfect
That's
sense.
how you,
Yeah.
yeah. Did either of you have a favorite part of the Bozo's hideout?
Yeah. Meeting Slicks.
little hero worship and attractions
Well,
there.
I think I mentioned it the last time. It sort of wasn't until we met Slicks that I really felt like um, Cicero had a place in the group, right? So it was like that, and it sort of gave me more confidence playing the character. It sort of like made the rest of the journey easier and better. Not to say that I wasn't like didn't know what I was doing in the episodes that preceded it. Obviously, it was sort of the tipping point that I was able to say, okay, this makes sense to me. I get it. And this was sort of my moment to shine, and I didn't feel like I had that. So definitely 100% for me, it was of Slicks. Yeah. How about you?
I liked all of the like delightfully creepy things that Emma put in the building.
Come on.
Like
Oh,
just like
Come on.
the little details, like
there were so many
the
creepy
the
things.
happy birthday room and like the weird upstairs rooms that I was exploring, like the one where the person was like strapped to the spinny wheel with like I think
Mm-hmm.
knives
Mm-hmm.
coming
Ugh.
at them. Like that's just
Yeah.
such a it's very basic carnival trick thing, but it takes on an entirely different feeling when there are people in this building who are trying to kill you.
And when you find victims,
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Emma.
Oh yeah, that and Bimbo the clown.
oh,
Oh, yeah,
uh,
yeah.
Yeah.
That uniquely horrifying experience.
Yeah.
yes.
I still think your reaction to when I dropped that clown photo in the chat for the first time, that was great because none of you were expecting that.
Well, we weren't.
No, we weren't.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Well, I mean, I was just doing what the storyteller bid, so I am Emma's humble servant when it comes to posting creepy shit
Oh.
for
Yeah.
everybody to
Here,
experience.
creep everyone out.
Yeah,
Mission accomplished.
yeah.
Gary, scare everyone else.
No, but I knew it was coming, so I saw it in advance. I got creeped out directly, as opposed to through the chat. Cicero has some skills that we haven't used yet. There's a bunch bureaucracy and library search.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, because
Oh.
Cicero knows how to cut through the red tape.
I bet.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, and I figure library search, figuring out what you could know in the public. Yeah, he can't hack anything, but he can go to the library and say, hey, like let's see what I can find that's publicly available.
Mm-hmm.
And deduction are really the only ones, and of course pilot air vehicle.
We'll put that on its bucket list.
Give me that helicopter.
What other kind of air vehicles are available? Is it just like airplanes and helicopters, or are there some kind of other future-y? Can you get a jetpack?
That's a great question. I don't know. Or like a rideable drone.
Can Tab make you a jetpack?
Tab would try real hard.
She better. Now I want one.
What if I got you one of those like do you have sea vehicles at all? I could get you one of those like hoses that sprays the water
Right.
down and you can like
I mean, I had sea vehicles in the sense that I'm naturally reflexive. But no, I don't actually have the skill trained. The originally when I was building Cicero, I had some other stuff like in technique. One, I think it's weird that it's called technique instead of technical. But yeah, it's funny because he's got lots of cool but no technique. It's like he's got no game.
I have no skills.
I'm never gonna live that shit down.
No, you won't.
I have grave regrets about saying that.
We would never make you regret that.
You might not. I friggin' Billy will.
Absolutely.
Although I don't know if y'all, if anybody who's watching has seen, we've started gifting some of our episodes, which is very exciting. We have some that have yet to be revealed. Although the thing that's 4 of the gifts that I've made 5. 4 of them are reactions to something that I said, and they're all like, Tab is like, Billy's
Facepalm.
like, and then there's one where she's like,
I feel like that's just like Billy and Sister's relationship is just like, oh my god.
I'm almost surprised that there's not one of Billy just making like that "I know you are, but what am I" face.
I have to go back and capture some of that stuff because it's not that hard. I still like I don't remember which episode it was from, but Amy's like she's like so excited about something. She's like, can't wait. I haven't put that one out there yet, but I'm going to. I think
It's a
I
weird
think
thing to see yourself gift on the internet.
yeah, well that's it, right? So and then there's of course there's Feliza's mathing, right?
There's a reason I went into books. And unfortunately, in my book job, I do lots of that exact thing where I'm just like.
Oh, if only you had a real life agent to do all of that for you.
I know, I know. I just was like, we were watching it again. I was like, I'm so sorry it took me this long to add up these dice.
That's what keeps us real.
Yeah.
That is
Dude,
the realness
see-
in our game.
Yes.
Yeah, because we don't get all the rules right, and we don't always roll the right dice, and you know we let it go. We don't speak about it for a long time, or we just let things go. You know.
Mm-hmm. We definitely don't bring it up ever again.
No.
This is definitely.
This is my turn.
So here's a question for you two.
Mm-hmm.
If you had a real life agent that could take care of a task for you in your everyday life, what would it be?
I'm trying to think of something that I don't already have my phone do for me.
The first thing that comes to mind immediately is podcast editing.
Yeah.
Because I realized there's a world of like making it sound better, and I always thought mine sounded okay, but no, there's things that I could do to make it sound better. So if the agent could do that for me, absolutely.
So like in a curious way, what kinds of things?
So you can compress the sound and normalize it so that the peaks and valleys are lessened, so that as people are speaking, you know, you speak louder or quieter, it'll compress the peaks and sort of expand the valleys, so it's more of a balanced sound across the board, which is particularly useful because I do segments, so it will, if I put them all in the same file, the interview and the news segment and the outro, it will make it all sound more even. So I've been working on that. Yeah, I'm just trying to make it sound better. Yeah, not that it sounds bad now. It's just if you can.
Yeah,
make
but
it
you
better,
can
why not?
always take it to the next level.
Exactly. Yeah. So, what about you, Feliza?
I would have it tell me how to dress every day.
Like
So,
based on the weather, or like assembling outfits, like Clueless
Both.
style. Okay.
both. So one of the things about Alley Cat is that she's very stylish. She has a very like defined style, and looks cool. Like her personal grooming is decent. Her wardrobe and style is a 10, which is not horrible, but it's way better than my real life wardrobe and style. I am so bad at dressing myself. I don't know how to do it. I'm just like, do these colors go together? I hope so. Does this go with jeans? It better go with jeans, because guess what? It's gonna go with jeans.
I mean, I think anybody who's watched our show might call bullshit on that because you always look so good. It's like, I don't know how to dress. fucking walks in with this like hairstyle slicked back, like she just got out of
Makeup,
a wind
yeah.
tunnel with makeup where her eyes are like this and they're sort of curved upward with the eyeliner, and then she's got like this army jacket, this army shirt on with like a jean jacket, like
You made a
You
really
can't
cool top out of a scarf one time with a safety pin, so I
right?
don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
you can't see my bottom half.
Nobody
So
cares
it's
about that. Whatever we
my
see
problem is
is
matching things. I can't match the top to the bottom or to the shoes at
Um,
all.
So
I have like 3 pairs of shoes
you
that I
can
just wear
text
all.
me the next time you have outfit paralysis. Don't give me the go or no go on your outfit.
I think that's it too, is just like it takes so long to be like the indecision. I would just like the agent to remove all the indecision.
that's fair.
Yeah. Or like even just like plan out your ensembles in advance so that you know what you're wearing the next day. Like you don't have to worry about it like beforehand. Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a quick 5-minute break and we'll be back to talk a little bit more about the show. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. We'll be right back. We are back. We are hydrated because that's the most important thing. And we're happy to continue talking about Cyberpunk Independence. We're really excited to. We are welcoming a guest for our next episode, which is always exciting, and it's a bit of a different episode. I think I don't want to give too much away, but it's going to be an episode that is different on the one hand, but it's going to have some familiarity to people who've been watching our show from the beginning, particularly if you've seen our prequel episode that we did raising money for Jasper's Game Day over on Talon and Claw. I'm curious, though, is there anything right now, if you could, we all sort of have our characters, that you regret about your character or would change if you could, whether it's statistically or story-wise?
Oh, look at you pulling out the hard questions.
It's my
Oh.
podcasting background. What can I say?
So I have one.
Oh yes, hit us.
So I don't remember where it falls like episode wise, but in the scene where we obtain Max, Alley Cat was working on unlocking the human beings. And then because both both Tab and Billy failed to get the dog, the player, was like, oh no, I gotta get the dog for my friends. They really want this dog. I gotta go get the dog. So Alley Cat stopped unlocking the humans and instead got like played with the dog. And afterwards, after that session, I felt so bad about that.
Oh, humans.
I know, I felt so bad. I was like, I should have let those humans out. Like, I was sitting there, like, eating dinner, like, I should have let the humans out. I should have let the humans out. This is my only regret playing as Alley Cat. The only thing I regret about her is that she didn't let out the humans first.
Priorities.
Yeah.
Like sometimes humans are terrible people too.
I mean,
They were innocent.
to be fair, we had no idea they were just a bunch of humans locked in cages.
That's true. We didn't know why they were in there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think,
But
but,
still.
well, okay, so Alley Cat technically wouldn't have known about, like, the people Tab found. Because I think she would have known probably by that point that it's not just, like, some weird clown shit going on.
Yeah. There's like some extra
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, like they were literal prisoners, and we were not certain of that. I still felt really bad about it.
What about Tab, Amy?
Tab feels bad about letting Cicero and Feliza and Alley Cat explore like the Hall of Mirrors and like head downstairs ahead of her. Like I know she was checking out, the upstairs rooms, but in that sort of like no one gets left behind or no one goes like we move as a pack to protect each other. She was worried about how that was going to go for them. Not like she really could have done a whole lot to get them out of trouble or help them get themselves out of trouble, but letting them go off into the scary, scary darkness alone, she probably would have done that a little differently.
But Sister did so good by himself, basically, with very little assistance from Alley Cat.
Yeah, I mean the one thing I have no regrets about is maxing out my evasion and reflexes. Because that shit has come in handy more than any other skill, without question. Because I mean, like I've said in the past, I had no intention of making this a combat focused character at all, and then Emma was slowly giving me PTSD for events that hadn't happened yet because she was talking about how deadly the system was. Anyways, so that's something I don't regret. I don't really have any regrets about anything that's happened in the game. I would probably design the character a little differently. I mean, I feel like I put a few points into a couple skills, and it feels like a game where you really want to be super focused as opposed to, so like I have 1 point in tracking, for example. I mean, that 1 point is not really doing anything for us. I mean, irrespective of the fact that it hasn't come up. So I just sort of something like that. But yeah, no, otherwise, no, I don't really have too many regrets, beyond the no times that Billy got the upper hand in our verbal debates. I feel pretty good about winning all of those.
If that's what
That's how you feel.
you sleep at night.
I know you are, but what am I?
Oh goodness.
No.
Yeah, maybe a different voice, because it gives Allie the creeps, but I kind of like that.
That still
voice
amuses
is
me to
great.
no end because I really do like the voice.
Oh, very
The voice
good.
is great.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But to be fair, Amy, we also don't have to like kiss him at the end of the day.
That's true. After
So,
listening to it, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, no, she does not like it at all. It definitely gives her, I don't even know, what do you call it when the hair stands up?
Heebie-jeebies.
Heebie-jeebies, yeah.
Like, does she think Cicero is like a sociopath?
100%. Yeah. Sociopath, murderer, weird cults guy, bringing people together and feeding them poison. Totally, all of it.
I mean, not
It's not too
terribly
far
off.
base. Yeah. The whole cult thing. Yeah.
He's an avenging angel. There's no like poison. He's trying to feed people the Kool-Aid so they wake up. He's trying to give them the blue pill. Which pill is the good pill to wake people
the
up?
antidote Kool-Aid.
Yeah, the antidote Kool-Aid. Exactly. Yeah, no, you're right. The voice is amusing.
I like it. Yeah.
Although I didn't like when Rachel described it as, what did she say? The combination of demented William Shatner and something else. I don't remember. That first.
I mean, it's also a great character voice, though, since you're the only man on the podcast. You don't really have to differentiate yourself too much.
No, it's
a great voice,
yeah,
though.
it's great. Oh, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna make sure Allie knows that y'all like it.
It's a great voice. Yeah, I feel like Alley Cat's voice goes back and forth. Because in the first few episodes, there was definitely like an Alley Cat voice, and now I just like, but now it's just mostly my regular voice.
I wish I had the confidence to do a voice, but then part of me is like, I know that I would be lazy about it. So I mostly just to describe what Tab does and not what she says. So
Yeah,
make that easy on myself.
Tab is a little quiet.
She is. She's a watcher. She observes.
She has a lot to observe with the rest of us.
There's a lot going on. Yeah.
there is a lot going on. I mean, really, how do you get a word in edgewise with Billy in the room? It's hard, you know.
Or Cicero, thinking that he's so great on the data pool.
I mean, Doesn't
I'm
think anything.
Cicero.
There's just facts.
I'm Cicero. I'm famous. I talked this lady into giving me passes to go outside Night City.
Yeah, only 4 of them when 0 of them are impossible to get. Just saying.
That voice or that laugh was a little creepy.
No, it's been quite the journey for sure from when we concepted the show in November and sort of working through all of the challenges that we had sort of through December and January and trying to get it done. But the thing that I love about it is that we're still having fun with the characters, right? Because it's easy to sort of not look forward to or sort of feel like it's a job, but I never sort of feel like that with this. I've said it we have a private Discord that we talk about and schedule our games and stuff, and I say it all the time. It's like I'm so lucky that I don't know how I got so lucky to find all of these nerds that I get to play with every week. But I'm so blessed that we get to hang out all the time. And yeah, that's basically all I have to say about that.
It's like the pizza punks are gonna co-opt the Olive Garden slogan. They're gonna find like a vintage advertising recording. Like, oh, when you're here, you're family.
Oh, that's a great question, Hawkmere. So, what drew each of you to playing this game? So, I'm assuming that he means the Cyberpunk Independence. So, why don't we start with you, Amy? What drew you to? Why did you decide that you wanted to participate in this game when we pitched it to you?
I have never played in a setting like this, like a futuristic, post-apocalyptic, sort of edgy. Like I've played a couple games of Shadowrun, but nothing like long term, and nothing that was really like character focused versus like we're just gonna shoot all the things. Like shooting all of the things isn't quite my MO. It is tabs neither as maybe evident. Um, so just being able to explore the story, and honestly, I really like the idea of playing with all of you on a regular basis. Like you sort of get that like dream squad together where it's like, yeah, that'd be really fun. And then it turns out it's exactly as fun as you imagined, if not more. So it's really working out for me.
Nice. Feliza, what about you?
So Amy's the one who asked me, and I didn't know anyone else before we started the game. So initially it was, Amy is great. I love Amy. Yeah, I want to play with Amy. That sounds like fun. Oh, sci-fi. I love sci-fi. That sounds great. And it worked out really nicely. It's so much fun. And I think one of the other things is that being a person who didn't know anyone else other than Amy coming into it, I feel like a lot of people who play tabletop games will often find themselves in the situation where like you get pulled in to be, the fourth player at the table, and everyone else knows each other, and it's really weird, and you feel like the outsider, and that's never how it's felt for me. Yeah, which is really lovely.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad you said that because you've never felt like an outsider to me. So you fit right in from the very first minute we met you. So that's I think that's clear to everybody. For me, when we first started talking about doing a cyberpunk game, we wanted to do something different. Emma and I have known each other for a long time, and we've talked about doing a show together for a long time. And with the release of Cyberpunk Red, we thought it was a good opportunity to capitalize on the buzz of the show of the game, the new tabletop game, and the video game. And it didn't work out exactly as we intended because for a lot of very legitimate reasons we didn't launch as quickly as we would have liked. But that's sort of why we decided we wanted to play Cyberpunk. And then when we were sort of looking to cast the show, Amy was sort of the first person Emma and I wanted to reach out to. We had so much fun playing with her on Quest for the Cure, and we got to know each other on Facebook after the Jaspers game last year, and we're like, yeah, ask Amy. She was awesome. And then Rachel, I had the opportunity to work with on Quest for the Cure as well, and I'm like, Rachel's great. I think she would get along with everybody else. And then Amy's like, oh, I know somebody who I think would be really great for the show, and that's of course Feliza, and she was 100% right. But that's what drew me to the show, and we wanted to do something that was different. Emma is the storyteller, and she's come up with all of the adventures, and I don't know if she's even still planning to do it, but we came up with sort of an overarching plot together, the idea of cyberpunk independence. And when we hit on that, the sort of that overarching plot, I was really excited by the potential for it and what it could mean for a show. So now I feel like I'm talking a lot, but that's basically what drew me to it, is that, we were a great group of people, and potential to have a show that really resonated with people. And so far we're really pleased with the results. We get a consistent group of people watching us, and lots of people listening to us. So we're really excited about that. Hawkmere says that you guys genuinely look like you're having fun. That is 100% true.
We have so much fun.
Yeah.
Every time we're watching the episodes on the stream, someone will say something on the stream, and I'll just start laughing out loud, but then I will start laughing on camera too, and I'm just like, it's still funny. It's still funny. Everyone is so funny. All of you. You're all very funny.
It's a good group of nerds to hang out with, for sure.
Yeah.
I'd like the fact that people come hang out with us on Sundays. It means a lot. Like, we could be talking to no one here, but having cool people interact with us and, take interest in the story that we're telling and the characters means a lot. It's really cool. It's a new experience.
Yeah.
I think also...
Go ahead.
Oh, I think also one of the things that's kind of funny about how it worked out, we did not name ourselves the Pizza Punks from the beginning. It just kind of worked out that way. Slimy Pete's was not supposed to be anything more than just like, gotta go get this car. But I really feel like in the end, the kind of overall feeling you get from the cast members is just like people that you're just like sitting in just kind of like a greasy pizza place with, hanging out.
Exactly. Yeah. Getting brunch in the morning.
Yeah, totally. I still think, and Emma acknowledged this the last time at some point, that the Slimy Pete was not intended to be a recurring character. She came up with Slimy Pete on the spot, and now we forced her to give him personality.
You're welcome, Emma.
You're welcome, Emma. See, the way to think about it, the spin, as one might call it, is that Emma didn't have to do that much work. No. We just kind of did it for her.
Yeah. Hawkmere's saying that that's the kind of thing that sets us apart, is that these things are happening naturally. So thank you for that, Hawkmere. That's a lovely compliment.
Thank you.
I think when you have a group of people that get along so well, that the game is just fun. And I think people see us having fun, and it sort of translates to the show. And I think the thing that we have that is great is we all have different personalities, and they all complement each other. There's none of us are sort of dominant in the game. We all sort of have the ability to let other people shine and have their moments. And that's not, I was actually watching a show earlier today or yesterday, and there's one person who is doing all the talking. I'm like, okay, well, I'm tuning out because this is not what I'm. So that's really good as well. Dee's saying that Slimy Pete seemed like a recurring NPC.
Oh, that
He
wasn't by
is.
Emma's choice,
No.
though.
Oh, he is now. He is now.
Yeah. Emma got dragged into Slimy P kicking and screaming. There was no, she had no choice.
Much like Slimy P got dragged
Much
kicking
less,
and
yes.
screaming into our schemes.
Yes. I feel like at least he was not literally screaming
That's true.
or being dragged.
That's true.
I mean, in the later episodes.
In the later episode, we didn't drag him. We didn't have to. I blew his kneecaps out.
Yeah, we only kind of hurt him that one time.
Wow. Right. Just that one time where you shot out both his kneecaps and threatened to like...
It was a baseball
I didn't
bat.
shoot him. It was a baseball bat.
There's a difference.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure I shot him though.
Yeah, but not in the kneecaps.
Oh, okay. That makes it okay.
You can't
then.
but you can't fix that.
Okay. Yeah, you know, D, when Cyberpunk, I didn't have any experience with Cyberpunk as a system when we picked it. So they sent us a copy of the rules in advance. We distributed them to the cast. We sort of planned our characters out. We had our session 0 meeting, and then we was like, this is what we're all thinking. And the characters complemented each other well. And then, you know, we sort of went away and did our characters. And the Cyberpunk Red system is really nice, and it feels like a naturally fun system to play. I like D&D too. I mean, all of us do. We all play regularly, but it's nice to play something different. And the D10 system that is pretty cool.
The exploding is fun.
Yes, yes, the exploding is very fun. The only thing that I think is Emma's being a little stingy with her improvement points, as I mentioned during the break. I feel like I should be a lot more famous than I am already, but
I'm gonna tell her you said that. You're in so much trouble when the storyteller gets back.
Wow.
See, now Tab's gonna get you in trouble with Mom.
Yeah, Billy's not here to do it. Yeah.
I feel so betrayed.
She already knows you're the troublemaker. She already knows.
That's Billy, not me.
You're not wrong.
Billy's the instigator. I'm just the defender of myself from her vicious attacks.
Oh man. See, sometimes I'm like, oh man, which of the 4 of them is really the troublemaker?
It's definitely Billy. It's definitely not Cicero. I'm calling some rainbow bullshit on that.
No. I'm pretty sure it's actually Alley Cat. Because I'm thinking about it, I'm like, oh man, no, most of this shit's my fault. I did a lot of it.
Don't you do a lot of this on Slicks's request?
Yes. Oh, it's Slicks. Okay, we can blame Slicks. That's good.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Chris isn't here to defend himself.
No, Chris isn't here to defend himself, but we are going to get him here hopefully soon on Talking Red, because he is going to feature at some point, without giving too much away, in future episodes. And he's been a big part of our show so far, so we're really excited to hopefully have him on Talking Red again.
And we haven't got to have him on Talking Red yet. No, we haven't had a guest.
No, and we're gonna have to fix that. I'll ask him to sign in for us in a few months. Actually, the next Talking Red, I think, if I'm not mistaken, is once again going to be after Quest for the Cure. If I'm not mistaken.
that sounds about right.
Yeah. So, well, this has been great. Really glad we got a chance to chat, and thanks D and everybody and Hawkmere and everybody watching. We're always really keen to talk about our characters in the game and to answer questions, because fundamentally we appreciate, like Amy said, we do this without an audience, but we're so glad that you're invested in the characters and the story and the world that we're building. So Amy, why don't you sign off, and then
hi, I'm Amy. I'm signing off. I can be found on the internet at LAZYDZRA, Lady Dezora, on Twitter if you like dog photos. That is a lot of what I post, and also knitting. I've been making a sock tonight. So.
Oh, that reminds me. I have to send you that thing you asked me for.
Okay.
I forgot.
I don't remember.
the
But thanks.
outline of my.
Oh yeah. Um, but yeah, thanks for hanging out with us tonight, especially since it's just the three of us, and we're like 3/5 as funny when there's only three of us. But thank you, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week, everybody. Have a good night.